right, this is probably one of my favorite topics, how to increase your profitability. And these are the 5 quickest ways to do so. Now, I gotta be honest, as a real estate agent, I have been there and done that when it comes to creating accounting nightmares for myself, spending way too much, expenses out of whack, not knowing what I'm making and what's going out the door and what's coming in. I've been there and I've done all of that. So these are the ways that I focused on becoming more profitable, and there's still things that I do today. So going from selling a home every month to now selling sometimes more than one home a day, the number, what you do doesn't really change. The amount of revenue that comes in versus what goes out, you almost manage it exactly the same. So if you're doing 1 deal a month to 10 deals a month, this is all going to be extremely applicable to you. So like always, you know the drill. This is helpful. If you have an aha moment, if you think it might help somebody else, make sure you share it. Comment on here. If there's any other additional information you want, just drop it in the comments and I'll answer it. And please, please, please subscribe to my page. I put all of my real estate content out for free. Reason I do that is because I was a broke real estate agent at one point, and I don't want you to be broke because it's way better not being broke in real estate. So first things first, we're gonna go through these first 5. Number 1 is freeze your cards, okay? Now, I had this habit every 6 months, and I honestly still do have this habit. Every 6 months, I completely change my cards. I either report them stolen or I replace them, okay? Because what this does is this freezes everything that's coming out of my business account. And you might think I'm crazy, but what it gives you this is an extreme version. It gives you a very great understanding, because anyone who wants to get paid is going to contact you. You're going to get the email. Everything that you pay is going to get notified to you, okay? So at that point, you need to decide, is this worth paying for? Now, if you don't need to go to that extreme, the one thing I recommend doing is printing out your transaction detail report every month. Doesn't matter if it's your business account, your credit card, anything you're spending money on for your business, print it out in a transaction detail. I need to go through it line by line every single month, because I can guarantee you right now, there is money going out the back door that you don't know about. There's money, you're getting double charged. There's things you thought you canceled, but you didn't. It happens all the time. And the last part is that when you're looking at that transaction detail, if you freeze the cards, that's the extreme. But when you're looking at your transaction detail, I just want you to remember this. The point of an expense is to generate a revenue, okay? The point of an expense, $1 spent on an expense, is meant to generate a revenue back, okay? So when you're analyzing your transaction detail and what you're spending, you have to have that in mind. Because you will look at something and go, okay, does this directly generate, I spend this money, does this bring in dollars? Okay, if the answer is no, then you go, okay, does it bring in clearly revenue? Do I absolutely need it? I couldn't run my business without it, okay? You gotta decide that, but if the answer is no again, honestly, you should probably cut it. If the answer is yes, I can't run my business without it, for your CRM or maybe Dropbox, your $20 Dropbox charge where you put every piece of content you have, does it generate a revenue? Not really, but is it something that you probably need to run your business? I mean, you don't need it, but it's only $20, right? So just keep that in mind. Transaction detail, freeze your cards, and analyze everything that's coming out. And I can promise you, you will find hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that are flowing out the back door. That's step 1. And you should honestly keep that going every single month, printing out that transaction detail, line item by line item, and highlight the things that you're like, what is this? Why am I paying for it? Can I cut it? I need to make those decisions every single month. Second, leverage vendors and partners. Now, quick story. I feel like I kind of got told something that wasn't true. For a majority of my career, one of the lenders I worked with basically said that we don't cover leads and we don't share expenses with our agents, right? And honestly, this might sound kind of dumb, but I almost took it as like a prideful thing for a long time. Like, yeah, like I don't ask for anything from anybody. I'm self-sufficient. I don't need money coming from here, coming from there. And then I started getting bigger and bigger in the industry, and I started expanding different states. And I realized that it's a very common practice. It's not shady. It's not weird. If someone's mutually benefiting off the business like you are, there's no reason they're not contributing some of the cost. So going back and looking at your title relationships, relationships with insurance agents, and especially with your mortgage partners, why are they not contributing to any of your lead generation, your marketing, your events? That they should be. If they're getting business from it, they should definitely be helping you out. So the way to go about it though is very important, because like anybody, you have to respect their money too. They're not made of money just thrown it at you. They want an ROI as well. So the best way to do this, and I've done this with a lot of money, right? Like we have a lot of vendor relationships across our different markets, but we track their dollars the same way we track ours. So you want to go into this and you want to say, hey, if I'm asking you to contribute $2,000 to my lead generation spend, I'm going to track your ROI and make sure that this is a good investment for you, and here's how I'm going to do it. So you want to go into these things with a plan and explain how you're going to, number one, track and what you expect their ROI to be. If you're asking for a significant amount of money with people who have invested in partnerships like this before, they're going to want that anyway. But the best thing you can do is respect their dollars and make sure that you're helping them track to make sure it's a good investment for them. But this right here, I mean, this is a big one you definitely should be leveraging. If especially any lead generation, this is something that a mortgage can definitely help you out with. You have to ask, but make sure you have a plan. Third, processing fee. You can call this a transaction fee, a processing fee, a service fee. Long story short, it's a flat dollar amount that's charged as a fee, not as commission, as a fee on top of your percentage you charge to your client. So for our organization, we charge a $495, just round it to $500. We charge $500 processing fee. Why? Because we go out of our way and hire external third-party licensed transaction management for every single one of our deals. And we don't have to do that, but we do. In order to cover that cost, which is a fixed cost for us, well, it's cost of goods sold, but it's a fixed one coming in on every transaction, we wash it by charging our client the $495 processing fee. Now, there was mixed feelings about processing fees. Some people are like, oh, why I wouldn't do that to my clients, and that's a shady business practice. Like, look, whatever. I'm just talking about profitability. How you feel ethically, that's on you. But I can tell you this is that we have rarely ever a complaint in a year, and we sell more than a house a day. So that's something for like me selling 500 plus homes. You take $500 times 500 homes, that's a lot of money. Now, back that up. If you're selling 20 homes, right? 20 homes a year, that's $10,000 of profit, or $10,000 that washes an expense. Because if you're paying $500 a file, but you're charging your client a processing fee, then that's a wash. So really, that expense goes out, which increases your profit. So again, processing fee, transaction fee, service fee. You might feel a little like, I don't know, but I can tell you it's worked for us, and it's a great source of increasing our profitability. Fourth, track the source of your deals. This is so important because you don't want to be sold the shiny objects. You don't want to get all those random SMS solicitations